The gatekeeper. You're going to run the back end. There she is.
Hello.
Hey, Shannon, what's going on?
Nothing. No.
What's I just want to say thank you for taking on the monumental task of running the phone booth. Before we get started, do you have any concerns? How do you think it's going to work out?
I think it'll be fine. I feel like people understand the clean entertainment rules and.
Can I ask you something, Shannon?
Yeah.
When you said entertainment, did you do the hand chop entertainment, or did you just say it?
Just now, clean entertainment.
All right. I appreciate your acquiescence, Shannon. Let's go ahead and open it up. I'm trusting your judgment and good faith in deciding who to punch in. So you're going to bring in the person. You're going to introduce them, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Thanks, Shannon.
No problem.
I can't tell you what's going to happen. Phone in Friday. First call taken live. Phone calls on Twitch during a PUBG solo game. What could go wrong? All right, we're gonna go a little less spicy here. Is Shannon gatekeeping or beekeeping? Shannon's the gatekeeper. Picture the show like an office. Shannon's working the phones when you walk in the front door. You're not getting to the booth. You're not getting to the studio unless you go through Shannon. All right, let's go Hospi. Shannon, go. Don't wait for me to punch in a call. The beekeepers are a special breed of sullied and unsullied with no names. All right, let's go. All right, so we're going to Hospi drop. What kind of splice? We're good.
All right, we've got the first caller.
Okay, what's the first caller's name?
It's Zayden the Surfer.
Zayden the Surfer. Do you know what Zayden wants to talk about?
The question is, what is your favorite TV show of all time?
All right, bring in Zayden.
Okay.
Oh, what's going on?
Hello. Oh my god, I cannot believe I am on this show. Amazing. Big fan.
How do you even know you're on the show?
I mean, because I'm watching.
Zayden the Surfer, what's going on, man? Where are you calling from, my dude?
I am calling from Hawaii.
Hawaii? What region of Hawaii?
The Big Island.
What's the Big Island, for those of us that don't know, like myself?
So basically, it's like, if you look at Hawaii on the map, it's the biggest island, obviously, but it's on the right side. It's the easternmost island. It's known for having the biggest mountain in the world. Although some people say Mount Everest is, actually, Mauna Kea is, because Mount Everest is only the highest from sea level, but Mauna Kea goes beneath sea level.
So right off the bat, I mean, you're kind of like blazing a trail. You're coming on here dropping mind-blowing knowledge to people. So you're saying Hawaii's got the largest mountain in the world? Okay, we won't fact check that. But what's the name of the Big Island? So is it just called the Big Island?
So yeah, it's called the Big Island, or it's called its actual name is actually Hawaii, but we can't really call it Hawaii because that's what the whole state is called, so we just call it the Big Island.
So who was responsible for that sort of tomfoolery that it absolutely makes no sense, right? So you have Hawaii, really the state, Hawaii, the island, but Hawaii, the island is separate from Hawaii, the state?
I mean, like, it's in the state, but it's like only a part of the state. It's really pretty dumb, in my opinion.
I mean, so now you're threatening your home state by calling your home state dumb. Are you originally from Hawaii?
Yeah, okay. I was born here.
Okay. So you're calling from your home state of Hawaii. Your Twitch name is Zayden the Surfer.
It's also my Discord name, yeah.
Could one acquiesce it's because you surf? Or is that just like a misnomer?
Yes, definitely. I surf a lot with my friends. I go out with my friends after school or whatever, and we just, take on waves.
How did you learn to surf for the first time?
It was a while ago. My parent taught me, my dad.
Like how
Yeah.
what do you call it? Like is hang 10 like an actual thing people say?
Yeah, it's like a move that you can do.
It's a move?
Yeah, it's like, so basically hang 10 is when you are on your surfboard and you actually, so your toes, that you basically curve your toes around the board so that your toes are underneath the board. It's very hard. It's very difficult.
And then like do you do something like funky with the board?
It basically makes the board, the other side of the board go up, and you have to keep your balance on the board.
I mean, do you have to have like spider-like feet to pull that off? I mean, like,
Yeah, really.
I mean, who can
You
even
have to have big feet.
who can bend their feet like that? Is it like, is there a training process to hang 10, or is it just you either do it or you don't?
I guess it's just like experience.
Ca-
I know how to do it because experience.
So can you hang 5?
I mean, yeah, that's not as much of a thing, but yeah, I guess like when you're learning how to hang 10, you usually try with just one foot first, so you can use the other foot to rebalance.
But that's not part of your surfing repertoire. You don't hang 10.
I do.
You do hang 10.
Yeah, I know how to.
Is there any evidence of this on the interwebs?
No, probably not.
Do you ever like have your buddies? Do you guys ever like film each other surfing, or you guys just kind of go for fun?
Yeah, but we don't post it on the internet or anything.
How come? Because you like your privacy?
Yeah, I guess. I guess it's just something you've never thought about.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, keeping your privacy it sounds like a smart thing to do. Irregardless, welcome to the show.
I'm talking about 3 by the head and 3 by the leg, but you ain't have to tell my.
Thank you for the
girl I
Kanye
used
lyric.
Pee in the bed.
All right. Sorry, you couldn't hear that. But so you came in. Let me ask you this before we even get to your question. I mean, there had to be a level of apprehension being the first call in, phone in, exclamation point, phone in chat person ever on the Dan Gheesling show. Tell me about, did you have any apprehension, or were you like, dude, I'm doing this 100?
I heard, I'm just that kind of person. I heard it was a phone in Friday. I go to the Discord. It says phone in. I think that's me. That's what I need to do today.
So let me ask, so did you hop in even before you knew what was going on? Or did you hear?
Yeah, well, I saw the title of the stream is called Phone in Friday, and I immediately hopped in, and then I listened, and I was like, oh, that's what this is.
So that's
like, I'm doing this.
So like, have you ever heard the saying, the early bird gets the ice cream?
Never like that, but
one may say that applies to you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so dude, you've Zayden the Surfer is probably gonna go down. I don't want to gas you up. I don't want to give you a false ego. I also don't want you to strut through the marble chat room with an ego that can't fit through the seats anymore. But one may say that you blaze the trail being the first person ever on Phone in Friday. With that being said, my dude, what did you want to come on the show and ask or talk about?
So I was just wondering what you thought was the greatest TV series of all time.
Okay. For me to answer that question, I first need to understand a couple things of your understanding. Number one, do you have a favorite TV series of all time?
I would say
I'm not asking which. I'm just asking, do you have one?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What genre does that show fall in?
It is a game show.
A game show. Okay. So you're going to tell me, and this is not the judgment. I'm just trying to understand. You're going to tell me the greatest television series of all time isn't really a show. It's a contest.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, in my opinion, yeah.
Okay. All right. So that gives me some understanding of yours. I would say that you got to boil it down to 2 categories. One, pre-Sopranos, and one post-Sopranos. And I don't think anyone, from my standpoint, I don't think the best show of all time is going to come from pre-Sopranos. I just don't. I feel like Sopranos.
I agree. I agree. Sorry.
No, you're good. I almost had an 8x shot at someone, but someone sat him down.
Oh.
So I would say you're kind of looking at one basic cable show and one non-basic cable show. Personally, I don't think you can call the greatest TV series of all time until it's come to a conclusion. Oh, what do you mean, Dan? What about Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones has not been concluded, so it is not in the running. So, with that being said, I think basic cable, I think it's not even close. I think you're looking at the television show actually based, ironically enough, not based, but filmed in your home state. Do you know?
Oh my God, I love that. I think I know what you're talking about.
What show?
I love that show. Lost.
That's actually Lost would be the basic cable answer.
I love Lost. Absolutely. I don't really like the ending, but
we're not going to spoil it for people that haven't seen it. But
yeah, exactly. I'm not going to spoil it,
but for those that have not seen Lost, it's kind of like this. It can transcend generations, age gaps, and it's one of the few shows, in my opinion, and this is a mark of a great show, where you can watch it not once, not twice, multiple times, and you learn or get new things from it. So that's why Lost is the basic cable TV show of all time. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, with your guideline of that it has to be concluded,
yes,
I would say I probably I disagree, but if I was to ask a different question, which is,
well, you only get one.
Yeah.
So let's keep it on topic. Yeah. I know you're used to like jumping waves and like, changing multiple waves when you're hanging 10, but let's stay focused here. I said, okay. Do you agree or disagree with Lost being the #1 basic cable TV show of all time? You can disagree, that's cool, but just
I actually agree. I'm gonna agree.
I thought you said you disagreed though, like 2 minutes ago.
Well, with your guidelines, I agree.
I mean, I'm not. My goal of the show and Phone In Friday is not to change your opinion.
No, I know. I just if you have kind of changed my perspective, and I agree.
Okay. All right. So then we got to talk about non-basic cable, aka paid, meaning like you can't turn on a TV and you get it for free, right? So you're talking like the HBOs, the Showtimes, the AMCs, the Bravos, that stuff in nature. So with that being said, I think you have a few contenders. Hold on, there's a dead body here. There are a few contenders with someone's trying to break in the office. With a few contenders with the cream rising to the top. Oddly enough, I just tweeted about this show less than 24 hours ago, and would have to be Acquiescent in New Mexico. Do you know the show I'm referring to?
I do not know the show you're referring
Okay, so it was shot, filmed, and based in New Mexico. It starred Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul. Is this acquiescing any names or any memories for you?
I'm trying to think. Keep giving me hints. I'll find it.
It's based around a blue crystal substance. Rhymes with Seth.
Breaking Bad.
Okay, so I just think that's the other show that
I do really like that.
Have you completed it, or was it beyond your pay grade?
I have not finished it yet. I have made it through the first 3 seasons. I'm still watching it. I'm in the middle of it.
Okay. So at this point, Zayden, I feel like that's something that if you watch the show, I'm talking about our show on Twitch. If you watch a show, you respect the esteemed host, you respect the Marble chat room, I think you owe it to yourself to complete that series.
I do. I need to finish that. I'm like literally in the middle of watching that. I watched 2 episodes today already.
What episodes did you watch? Because right now you're going to make that kind of statement. One of the things, just like when we play PUBG duos, we could have nothing but honesty and truth spit on the show. And I'm not saying you're not, but what episodes did you watch today?
So I think it was like episode 3 and 4. One sec, I can pull it up. IFT and green light.
Okay. So I'm going to guess you started watching Breaking Bad, which led you to come up with your first call-in question.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't actually thinking of that when I called in, but stuff changes.
All right. So before we let you go here, Zayden the Surfer, what do you feel is the single best television show of all time?
Oh gosh, this is hard.
You're telling me, buddy.
Oof. I mean, personally, and this is just me. I really enjoy game shows, and my two favorites are Big Brother, mainly because of you, like season 14 and 10. My absolute.
I need to make something clear before we have more callers on the show. You don't need to gas up. The host is plenty gassed up. I appreciate the acquiescence, but don't come on the show and feel like you need to gas up the host. But I appreciate the kind words and sentiments.
No, like you are honestly my favorite player of all time. And
thanks,
then
Aiden.
also Survivor. Those are probably my two favorite shows of all time.
But unfortunately, based on the criteria that we've set before, neither of those series have been completed, so none of them are wishing the running. But I appreciate
I would say Lost.
Okay. Okay, so you agree with the host. All right, Zayden, my dude, I think you'll be known in the community as a trailblazer, at least for a short while. I'd like to thank you for your acquiescence of coming on the show, and I wish you best of luck in your hanging. Oh, no.
You just get.
No. Okay, nice. We're good. And thank you for tuning in, my dude.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Hey, thanks for watching the show and thanks for coming on. Hey, pleasure's all mine. Thanks, my dude.
And when I get my next free sub, I know who I'm subbing to.
No worries, man. I just appreciate you watching. Have a good one, buddy. All right, before we take on the next call, let's take a quick moment to gather our thoughts. Shannon, just hold the next call, please. Let me throw this to you guys. In the marble white chat room. There's no gray veins in our marble. Do you agree or disagree with Zayden? Is Lost the best show of all time on non-paid cable? 1 for yes, if you agree. 2, if you think there's a better show. Dude, I'll tell you, he did a good job. Zayden, as a trailblazer, you got the job done. Oh, we got to go. Also, it'd be nice to get a kill here. We got the divided. We got look, if I had to guess, just a quick glance, we're at like 50-50. Some people like it, some people don't. We're about to get gashed here a little bit. That's okay. Seinfeld is perfect. You know, we could have went the comedic route as well. Lost was great at the start, but ended poorly. There's part of me that thinks they didn't know how it was going to end. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Oh. It's so white in here, all light. There's darkness. What are you talking? Okay, so if you're new, welcome to Phone In Friday. It's a new thing we're trying out here. Do exclamation point phone in on in the chat for instructions how, and we'll you got to get through. Shannon's working the phones today. To get into the studio, you've got to make it to the lobby. Talk to Shannon. Shannon is the gatekeeper. If this were Howard Stern, which it's not, nor do I ever acquiesce to be remotely like him, it's nothing against Mr. Howard Stern. Shannon would be like for today. Would be like our Robin. So Shannon, we're ready for the next caller. Can you call in twice, not on the same day, but maybe on a later day, if we continue to do this? All right, how about we just? I mean, we could technically win this too. What is that word, acquiesced? It has multiple meanings. All right.
All right, the next caller is Chagger.
Real quick, Shannon, how's it going today?
Good.
How are things going in the lobby and the reception area?
Seems fine to me.
Is it getting rowdy, or are people under control?
No. Everyone has their mic muted. So.
Okay. What? How did you think Zayden did as a first caller?
Good. I think he did well.
Okay. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, just given on the Shannon objective scale, non-personal bias, what did you rate the call?
I'd say a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate that.
Well.
Who's next up?
Chagger.
Okay. Let's welcome Chagger to the show.
Alrighty.
Hello?
Chagger, what's good?
Hello.
How are you, my dude?
How's it going? I'm doing good. And you?
I'm good. Hey, I want to introduce you before. Oh, let's go. So Chagger, by the way, and I don't give him nearly enough credit. Chagger has supplied all of the current tunes you hear on the show. I mean, we did acquiesce a license. We paid for them. But Chagger is the beat maker beyond the beats. Chagger, what's up, my dude? Welcome to the show.
Great to be on the show.
What's where are you calling in from?
DMV, specifically Maryland, but I say DMV because that kind of offend to a specific location.
Well,
not
what is
all of Maryland?
I have no idea. What is DMV? I thought you were talking about the Department of Motor Vehicles.
DMV, that's DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Ah, dude.
DMV, you mostly talk about the parts of the DC, Maryland, Virginia that are accessible by the metro system.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you're calling from, dude, I'm in trouble here. You're calling from where? I'm sorry?
Maryland.
Maryland, okay. But you said not DMV.
Yes, DMV.
Yes, DMV. So do
Yep.
people take offense to DMV or they don't take offense to DMV?
In my experience, people say they're from DC, but they really mean DMV.
Oh, so like it's like they're claiming like, hey, I'm from LA, but they're really from like whatever, Los Feliz or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. So there's like a certain level of credibility, desirability to say, hey, I'm from DC.
Well, I don't know about all that, but in my experience, it has been that is the case.
When people are really from the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you. All right, cool. So you're calling from the Maryland area.
Yep.
You have a little bit of not advantage is not the right word, but I know a little bit about your backstory. But why don't you tell me a little bit more about it? So I know you make beats. How did you even get started to doing that?
It all started in high school, I want to say, where I kind of experimented with some stuff, making music and whatnot. And then I kind of just stopped doing it because I was like, it's all right, but it's nothing good. So then once I got in college, I want to say, started experimenting with things and whatnot, just putting together a lot of music together. And because, once you get your first song, it gets easier after that. So I just kept making music.
So like when you first started messing around, you said you started messing around making music. Are you saying like with a trumpet, with like a computer?
Well, actually making beats and producing and whatnot, I've played the clarinet and the saxophone for about 6 years before.
Okay.
So I kind of have some musical background.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, oh, maybe I listen to a lot of music, so maybe I should try to make my own.
What kind of music do you listen to primarily, or do you have like a favorite deal?
Stereotypical to say this, but I listen to a lot of things. But recently, I've been really into like electronic, but not the overarching all types of electronic.
So you're really kind of referring to like Kanye West?
Yeah, I do listen to a lot of Kanye West, but
okay, you like a lot of like electronic music, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you before we go down deeper in that rabbit hole? Do you like Kanye West?
Ew.
Yeah or no?
My first Kanye West album had to probably be My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Okay.
Friend came in and said, you gotta listen to this, you gotta check this out. And I was like, oh, it's Kanye West. And I kind of heard of him, but I never really listened to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he showed me that, and I was like, wow, this is great.
What did you like about the Red album?
Okay, so the first thing, truthfully, the first thing was on Blame Game. It had Chris Rock, I think.
Yeah, with John Legend.
And I was like, is that Chris Rock? And then I kind of listened to the rest of it. The main thing that stuck out to me was the beats. Like All the Lights is one of my favorite beats of all time.
Why?
One of my favorite Kanye beats. It's just so hard hitting, and especially when those drums kick in, it just really hits deep. And I feel like he had some masterful sampling, which I've dabbled into a few times.
But okay, I got to stop because we're going to
No,
no, it's good. We're going to an area where a lot of people don't know what you're talking about, which is good.
Oh.
So when you're talking about like drums, how would you describe the drums on All of the Lights? Like what kind of drum would you equate it to?
The type of drums on All the Lights, it's like you take a regular drum and it's like a deep kick drum, and then it kind of has like reverb on it, but it's not actually a kick drum. It's like one of those
what's reverb? Like a loud
reverb is like a large room and it echoes.
Okay.
That's what I mean when you say reverb. When you say reverb, it kind of echoes a little bit, lingers in the air a little bit.
I got you. If you don't know the type of drum, that's cool. Like don't feel
yeah,
like...
I don't know the type of drum, but I feel like it's like a bass drum or something that's like hitting it, and it's just really deep and impactful into the song.
Kind of like Kanye West, the most impactful artist of our lifetime. Anyway, but you also said you threw out a term that some people may not be familiar with. You said sampling. What is
sampling?
Yeah, what's sampling?
Sampling is basically when you take any song, but producers usually tend to go for like 90s and 80s early music, and they take that and they will take a clip of it, they will kind of mess around with it, make it sound higher, like pitch it up, pitch it down, loop it and whatnot, and use it in their song.
Okay.
And Kanye West does a lot of this. Big things he's known for.
Okay, so some may say, so if you guys ever hear a song where it's like, this sounds like another song, maybe slowed down. Oh, I see this dude. Like Kanye, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, you may not know because you're, but he was like the first to kind of really do it, I guess, and make his voice out of it. But I guess you would also say, like, you ever hear the Vanilla Ice song? Ice Ice Baby, have you heard that?
Yep.
So that's also sampled, right? They sampled that from Queen. So it's like, I don't know, that's like using someone else's music in your own song. Is that a way to say it?
Yeah, it's so there's another genre called plunderphonics, which if you know of the Avalanches, they do that. They're basically plunderphonics, which is basically all of the song is basically other people's works and you're using it to create another piece of work.
So it's called the Avalanches?
The Avalanches, yes. They had an album come out last year, I believe.
What genre would it be?
It's kind of hip-hop-ish, I want to say.
Okay, I never heard of them. Would it be something that I may like?
Yeah, I think so. Do you know who the rapper Danny Brown is? I can't remember. I'm gonna take some heat for this, but I don't remember.
It's all good.
Who did the song Lucchini?
Camp Lo.
Camp Lo. They were on the last album.
Oh, okay.
The song they're on is one of my favorites on that album. But sampling, like I was saying before, sampling is phonics, because when you sample, you're taking someone else's song and you're putting it into your song, and you're also adding original things to it.
Okay.
Like a lot of the time they do the sample and then they add the drums. Separates it from plunderphonics, you adding something else to it.
Okay.
So that's kind of where the origins of that comes from, as far as I understand.
And so you use some of that in your music?
Yes, I dabbled in that sometimes.
Okay.
Songs you play on the show are sampled.
Yeah, so I want to get to that point, but we're not there yet. So we're going to talk about the songs that you made that we've kind of selected for the show. But prior to that, so you started messing around in high school, then stopped. In college, when did you like really not take it serious, but when did you like start putting the pedal on it a little bit?
Can't really pinpoint the time, but there's a good friend of mine who also makes music, and he had I want to say he made something before us, before me, and I was like, wow, our friend, I should be able to too. And I was also like procrastinating on it. I wasn't really doing much work on it, and he was basically, egging me on. He was like, come on, you gotta do it. Just keep working on it, keep doing it, and then finally it came out.
Why do you think? Why do you think he did that? Because you're friends, or because he thought you were good at it, or why do you think he did that?
I think it's a mixture because I genuinely think he wants to see his friends, make good things. So I think that's the main reason why he did it. But yeah, I thank him for that because it helped making music. Because once you start, it's hard to stop.
Does he still make music?
Yeah, he actually has an album coming out soon that he's been working on. Stuff.
Oh no!
I'll see that when it comes up.
It was really like, it was not. I mean, we had a shot to win this thing. Anyways,
yeah.
All right. So you, all right. So he kind of gets an ear. You start making music, and then like, you do your first song. What did you do with it?
It wasn't. I actually did a first little album type thing.
An album.
But looking like as it was first album, it's kind of shaky. I don't really like it as much now. But
why?
Because I don't know. That was around the time where I was listening to like longer music, like on Stevens and Godspeed.
Are these like? I mean, I gotta ask you because I don't. Are these like? Is this like?
They just make long music.
Is it like indie stuff? Like I've never heard of any of these people, which is like it's
kind of indie.
Okay, all right. So you made like an album with like really long songs. Like what's a really long song?
One of them is 11 minutes, 18 seconds.
Okay.
And I remember going, wow, that was just great to make. It feels good to when you're rendering that final product and it's just taking forever because it's 11 minutes. I'm like, wow, I finally made something. And
what do you do to make, like, how do you make your music and what software or devices or what do you use?
I use FL Studios.
FL Studios. Okay. What does Kanye use? Do you know?
Kanye, I don't really. I knew it in the past, but I don't really remember it.
So I saw a tweet and they were talking about Kanye. They made a really big deal out of it because he's working on an album now, and they're like, oh, like I think maybe one of the dude from Clips, Pusha T, went in and it came out and he's like, it may not have been him, but he went in and came out. He's like, dude, Kanye's back because he had not one but two of these machines. They're like PS 5000s.
You're probably talking about like a MIDI controller.
Yeah, but it was like one they used in the 90s, and he was using two of them.
So if I'm thinking about it, it's probably the ones with the actual full piano attached to it.
It was like, so I looked it up on YouTube. It's like a box with like, I don't know, 16 or 24 white squares on it.
Oh, so okay, so yes, that makes sense because Kanye is a sampler, and when you do stuff, when you have that box, you're basically each square is a sample on it. So did you see that video recently where Kanye was at his show? A note. And everyone was going wild.
Oh yeah, that was from like, I think like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But like he brings out whatever the sampler, hits one note and like runs away from it.
So basically what he did was each of those squares is a different sample, and I think each note is a part of the song, or he might have actually made the piano for it. But each of the buttons is a different note.
Got you.
Or a different sample. So it'll be like a vocal line or something. It'll be that. So if he has two of those, that means he has a lot of samples set up.
Okay.
And a lot of,
I may be wrong. It may be one of those keyboard things. I think it might be. But anyways, so I digress. Anyways, all right. So you release your first album. Where did you put it? Like, could people have found it?
Well, I put it on Bandcamp, but usually when I make my music, I'm not really looking to be found or whatnot. Mainly do the music for fun.
Okay.
For fun of it.
When you say you're not looking to be found, are you being like, what does that mean?
Basically, I just post it on my Bandcamp and my friend kind of camp each other's band camps to see when something new comes out. So we like to just put things out and not really tell anybody.
What?
Oh, let me see.
The dude one-tapped me. Sorry, go ahead. All right, so you put on your band camp?
Oh. Yeah, I saw that. All right, so yeah, put it on my band camp, and usually in our group, you're like, oh, what is this? Then it'll be whatever the album is. But I don't really advertise it or anything. I just kind of make it and then just release it.
So, but let me ask this. If, let's say 1,000, so you say you release a song and say the next day 1,000 people listen to it, would you be like, oh, I don't want that to happen?
I don't want to actively seek it out, but if it does happen, I'll be like, whoa, that's amazing. Like when I showed you my SoundCloud, for that I was getting about like it would say 1 or 2 plays or 0 plays every 24 hours. And then the morning after I showed you, it had like 300 like plays in the last 24 hours. It's like, wow, that's amazing.
But let me ask you, say you don't actively seek it out. Why is that?
I honestly can't tell you.
Well, like, I mean, do you do the music for fun? If someone said, hey, look, I will pay you to do music, is that not something you want to pursue as a career? You just kind of do it as a hobby?
To make music for people, especially if they listen to my music and say, you know, I want to do more music, like hear more music from you. Music, I'll pay you for it. That'd be great. But you know, that's not. I mean, if it happens, I would love it to happen, but that's not really the first choice thing for me.
Why not?
Because I like to dabble in all types of artistic endeavors and whatnot.
So let me ask this. So I just want to hit the pause on the music real quick. What do you do? Like, do you work? Do you go to school? What do you do?
Up until I want to say half a year ago, I was doing.
You were doing what? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Doing IT.
Okay. Do you still do IT?
Not anymore.
Why not?
So I can focus on my artistic endeavors.
Okay. So I'm just gonna you come on this show. You're gonna get some truth fire your way. Okay. So you're the first person to come on the show, and now you're gonna be on the hot seat, whether you like it or not. All right.
All right, I'm ready.
So you spend time making art. You spend time making music. But you say you don't want people to find it. It doesn't add up. Why don't you want people to find it? Then you could do more and get paid for it.
Well, because the thing that I want to put my energy towards is so the main thing I want to do is I want to make a game with my brother who's doing programming. I'm doing the art.
Okay.
That. So I've been really focusing on that. So I feel like if the music if I blow up right now for music, I won't have the time to do that.
So if you blow up for music, you're gonna be like, oh look, I'm not gonna blow up. Let me just stop. And
no, see, that's the problem.
So then you can't come on here and BS, my dude. Don't say, hey, look, I'm making music, but I don't want anyone to listen to it. Like, clearly, at least one person liked it, me. So if you got one person liking it, chances are other people are gonna like it.
See, the other half of it is probably I don't know how to.
What do you mean you don't? Okay, so we got half that you say, oh, I kind of don't want people to find it. I'm just gonna call that straight up not true. But in the other half, you're like, well, I don't know how. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So you don't know how to get it out there.
Well, I have some ideas, but I haven't really tested them or done anything.
Why not? I mean, you did one idea, and apparently it worked because people on the show listen to it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah, that was when I told my friends about it, they were like, "Wow, that's surprising that you would do that."
Well, I'm glad you did, my dude, because you in 2 songs. So people in the chat like, "Oh, Dan, you're going hard." I'm only going hard on him because he's talented. Okay, I'm not gonna if he's like, "Hey, should I be a musician?" and I listen to it, it sounds like my son made it. I'm not going to be gassing up, but he's talented. So let's talk about the songs we use on the show, right? So in particular, my two favorites. Well, I like Castles opens up the show, and then Fight. I really like the background of it, whatever if it's sample or whatever. So tell me the story behind our opening song, which let me turn on, by the way. Hang on.
Castles.
What's the story behind this song?
Castles is actually, so the stuff on my SoundCloud, a lot of it is not on any album or anything. And I was doing a lot of hip hop stuff. And I was like, oh, I can't remember exactly who I listened to, but I was like, I want to make some more electronic based things like that. And I started making Castle, and I was with my friends on the Skype call while I was making it, and I was like, oh yeah, I think this is pretty good.
And then you finished it up.
And then I finished it up, and I really like, especially my brother was telling me he liked it a lot, but because that was when I was heavily into that glitchy, like drums all over the place, glitchy type of thing. I was really into that. I was really proud of that.
Well, it's good, man.
My friends on the Skype call, and they were like, "This is great." So I, uploaded on SoundCloud so you can listen to it more. And yeah, that was into that. And then Fight.
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn on Fight real quick. I mean, by the way, like you talk about, you don't know how to like distribute or get your music out here. I mean, I'm not saying this is a traditional method because it's not, but it worked. Because right now we're about to listen to Fight by Chagger. We have on the live call Phone In Friday. So what's the story behind Fight?
Real quick, I'm checking it. So Fight
turn this
was around the time.
This may be my favorite song, by the way. Hold on. Just don't say anything like 30 seconds because I'm playing the song real quick, all right? Fire. I mean, chat real quick and be honest, because we don't operate in non-honesty. 1, if you like it. 2, if you don't like it. Okay, I'm not influencing, but you see the chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not in the business of gassing people up. But anyways, all right. So, what's the story behind this song?
So Fight, where people like, some of my friends would say, "Hey, like, can you make a beat?" Okay, so we have this thing in our Sprite group where we say, "Hey, why don't you make music like this?" And we'll post like some professional artists' music and whatnot, and we say, "Hey, why can't you make music like that?" And this is around the time where we were doing this a lot. And it was a few other songs, and they were like, "Hey, can you make stuff like this? Like, can you make hip hop music? Can you make like hard beats and whatnot?" And I was like, "Yeah, let me try." And Fight was the one where they were like, "Can you make a hard beat?" So I was like, "Yeah." And then to kind of do, I don't know what the word is, but kind of be like, haha. I was watching this anime called Yuri, and they had this part where she was going fight go fight Hima-chan. I was like, let me throw that in there. That's kind of funny thing.
So part of this is from anime.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
And then,
so you sampled that? So you call that sampling off anime?
Yeah. Well, only the voices. Only that one voice is sampled.
Okay.
Pretty much everything else I did, but I was like, yeah, this is all right. It's pretty good. And then I played it on. I remember because I came out of college and I immediately started working, and my brother was still in college, and he was in the room with some friends of his there, hanging out in his room, and he was like, I was like, "Hey, Cameron, here's the track I'm working on," and he played it out. This ain't gonna be good. This is gonna be whatever. And then they got to the drop, and they were like, "Oh, this is great. This is amazing." And I was like, yeah, I need to start making more stuff like this.
So, I mean, have you ever heard Kanye West's album, The College Dropout?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a song in it called Last Call, and at the end, like, he talks about stories about how he started like playing beats for Jay-Z. what you just said sounded like that. And I'm not calling you the next Kanye West, but I think you're very, very talented. And I think you should push the gas on it. How old are you? How old are you?
20.
So you're super young. So you like, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you probably don't have a lot of obligations. Like, you're not married. Like, you don't have a mortgage payment, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Okay, so I would just say put the gas on it. Nonetheless, that's the story of Chagger. Provides music. We need to have an exclamation point music in the chat. I think we do. But anyways, so you want to come on the show and ask a question? Or you just wanted to talk about music?
The main advice was I was going to ask advice, you know, leading up all to this is that, you know, I've been trying to work on try new things out, but, you know, kind of a writer's block, musician's block or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever been like stuck on something and, you know, how do you push past it? Because, you know, like you said, I'm still young. I haven't had a lot of experiences in life yet. So,
yeah, well,
I want to come to the more experienced Nas, get his opinion on it.
Yeah, so right off the bat, I mean, like, I think you kind of got a little bit of a head start because you got some talent, meaning that for whatever reason or however reason, it doesn't matter. Like, you're able to make, you know, some songs that at least one person liked, and, you know, that person being me, and that person then can distribute that because I like it. So chances are, if I like it, someone else is going to like it. So number one, that should prove to you that you're talented. Okay. And so with that is going to come confidence. Like, hey, look, like, you know, dude, my song's being played on this Twitch show. People are like, what's Twitch? I don't care. Well, you know, like I guarantee, like, if you came out with the new album, we would listen to it on the stream, and I'd be honest about it. But anyways, so number one, your question is, so like, if you hit writer's block, what do you do? I guess the only thing I can equate it to or relate to is on the YouTube side of things. Like, you know, for me, I've been making videos for over 4 years, right? I put out 2 videos a day. Sometimes, like, I'll think I got something great, I put it out there, and it like flops. And then the next day, like, I'll try something new. I think it's like, no one's going to watch this, or maybe, you know, it may not do very well. And then a lot of people watch it. But I guess the one thing you take away with it is, like, and I hate to bring him back into it, but Kanye West, he did 5 beats a day for 3 summers, right? And that's all I do. I think if you put your head down and you, like, continue to make music, try new stuff, eventually one's going to pop, you know? And I think you've already proven that. So, like, even though you're stuck, like, just keep grinding it out, man. Like, I know that's not really great advice, but it's the truth.
Yeah, I get.
You know.
But real quick.
Yeah.
So my mom kind of knows about the music I do and whatnot.
Yeah, she tweeted me. She's like, "Hey, listen to my son's music," which helped, by the way.
So she knows that, you know, online I kind of go by Chagger.
Yeah.
I showed her. I said, "Hey, mom, come check this out." And I showed her the Twitch stream, the first one where you use the music.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh my God, that's your music." No, actually, she was like, "Is this your music?" Because I didn't show her that specific stuff.
Yeah.
On my SoundCloud. To the part where you're like, you know, music featured on this show by E-Doubles and E-Dups and Chagger. She was like, "Oh my God!" She was squealing. She was screaming. She was like, "Oh my God, that was your name."
What's your music, dude?
And I was, yeah, that was the moment that made me feel most proud about doing my music.
So
someone else so happy for me in that moment.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Hopefully, like, for you, like, you can take that and do more of it. You know what I'm saying? And, like, honestly, this is what I would do if I were you. And, like, number one, and this will kind of, you know, we'll kind of wrap things up here. But, like, number one, you're good at music. Don't be afraid to say, "Hey, look, I want people to listen to this. This is what I want to do," because it's not like customary. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm going to work in IT. Cool. You know, go do your thing. Like, but I'm going to make music. People be like, "What?" So number one, that doesn't matter, right? As long as if you enjoy it, then do it. Number two, what I would do if I were you, since I would look at what did I have success doing? Well, for whatever reason, I was able to have success with someone listening to music, liking it, and then streaming it on Twitch. So what I would do is I would go, do you watch a lot of Twitch or no? You do?
Yeah.
So I would first go to the channels of people that you like, you know, and I wouldn't start with like the massive summits and those people. I'd be like, hey, I would reach out to them either on Twitter or send them an email, DM them. I'd be like, hey, look, I make music. I'd love for you to play it on stream free. You don't have to pay me anything. Like, and then just send it to them. Be like, hey, what do you think? And then I guarantee you do that 100 times. Probably, I don't know how many, but I would say at least 10 to 20 will listen to it. Maybe 5 will play it on the show. All of a sudden, those 5 people play it. More people listen to it, blah, 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 blah. Maybe, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Someone comes up to you and say, hey, look, I like your music. I want you to make me an opening song for my show. You know what I mean? But you got to put yourself out there, and you got to be like, look, dude, like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to fail a bunch, but it's only going to take one hit to matter. And, you know, just keep grinding. So that's what I would do.
Yeah, I feel that's a great advice. I mean, I've heard something similar in the past, and you know, I never really internalized it. Well, as you can tell, because I already told you that I wasn't really doing anything about my music or
I mean,
getting it out there. But yeah,
but that's the thing, man. The thing is, it's only advice, right? It doesn't mean anything. The only thing that matters is if you execute on it. And if you don't do anything with the advice, then 5 years from now, there's going to be someone named MC, not your name, that's going to do it, you know? So, but you're in an opportunity where you can execute it on it, and who knows what'll happen.
All right. Okay.
All right, my dude. Well, thanks for popping on. Keep me posted when you got new music, and I appreciate you, you know, giving us the music for the show.
After I'm gonna work on that album. After I finish it, you know, do anything with it, I'm gonna be right back in that Discord channel, waiting to get moved into the lounge.
Dude, you don't even have to do that. Just tweet me a link to it, and I'll listen to it.
All right.
All right. All right, later, my dude. Thanks for coming on.
I'll bet you on that.
All right. All right, later, man.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Have fun.
MC, not your. I don't know. I couldn't come up with an MC name. What have I been doing up here? By the way, I was really kind of focused on the call. Real quick before we bring on the next caller. I mean, what do you guys think? I'm just a dude putting on a show. Like, I feel like 100%. I feel like that's the right move. I feel like if you were to ask me what's his deal, honestly, I feel like, and it's not easy, right? Like it's not easy at all. But like, if there's something you want to do it, right? And well, that's easy to say, right? But it's hard, like even for him to come on the show. Like, I'm sure it's not easy, but as you get better at something, your confidence raises up. Just like us at PUBG, let's go. We're gonna win this one anyways. But that one, what's up, Flack Black? But I mean, like, so I don't know what's gonna happen on the show with the calls. Like, so the first one was just like chill. This one was like some like heavy hitting advice. So I don't know. I can't tell you where Phone In Friday is gonna lead next. But I did, you know, this is just so we're like Chagger sample. We're just sampling. We're sampling a new segment on the show. We'll see how it goes. People like it, we'll do it more. If not, we won't do it. It's kind of like, honest, that's kind of a feel about Twitch. Like, I mean, I guess this is the entire fourth wall has been broken this entire show. But like, dude, I've been streaming. I've been trying different stuff on Twitch since December 2012, off and on, and like, I enjoy every minute of it, but not everything's been like, I guess, what I deem as success. But I don't know. You know, it's like you just try stuff, and if it works, cool. All right. Oh, before we bring on the next call, so Wilbur, in case you don't know who Wilbur is, Wilbur was a bug that landed on our microphone. Also, by the way, do exclamation point music to find Chagger's music. A bug landed on our microphone on the Wednesday show. And this place is sealed up tighter than you know what. And so I don't want to say captured is not the right word, but we made Wilbur a home inside of a nectar bottle. And man, look at this circle. And then we had a voting on his fate, on his fate, right? So we either were to set him free, keep him as a pet, or end him. By where's the center of this boy? By a narrow margin, you guys acquiesced to set him free. Awesome, right? So we were gonna set Wilbur free. The only thing is, I ran out of the office and actually forgot to set him free. I know. Sorry. It happened. So what really happened then? So I came back in the office. Oh, give me that compy. Came back in the office. I don't know what I'm going to find. I mean, I'm expecting to see one thing. Him lost in the sauce, drowned. But I don't know. I come back in the office. Little concerned. Look at these loot tables. What is going on? Come back in the office. The dude is still drinking nectar, still alive. So what does that mean? So at that point, I brought him outside, set him free, and I'm like, oh, I want to take a video of this, setting him free. I was going to share it with you guys. I go run inside the studio, get my phone, come out, like Kaiser Soze. Gone. Like, I want to say he's lost in the sauce, but he was like probably operating on 50% battery life. And literally 1 minute later, he's gone. So what does that mean? You're probably going to find... I heard someone. You're probably going to find someone, maybe somewhere in the Midwest, with a oversized bug in the nature of Wilbur, and that's how you know it'll be him. I do have a picture. I have a picture of the nectar poured out on the blacktop and him just gone. That's the last picture I have of him. So I am saying we let a bug into the wild. Full on nectar. I cannot be responsible for what happens next. Although there was some conspiracy theorists in the White Marble chat room, and I'm not saying they're wrong, that said that Wilbur was actually a drone in the shape of a bug to get the patented formula. So that's the story of Wilbur. Where's my phone? I can show you. I'll post the picture in the Discord. But here's the last sighting of Wilbur. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get his video of him flying away. I did get a video of him after being lost in the sauce, but that was the last known location of Wilbur. Just don't know. This is the video I took. Yeah, this is. I'll post this video too. I'll post that video in the Discord. You're better than this. The White Marble room deserves a proportional vote system. What do you mean, Squared Error? I'm open to your acquiescence. All right, so we got to make a move here. It's the last known picture. We'll wait to take the next caller until we finish this game, because it could either go, we could take this thing all the way to the wall, or we could take it to the windy. Let's make sure we're geared up. No. Why do we have two 8Xs? Okay, so we got a Scarby and a Carby. Where's the red nectar? So, over the past few yields, the scientists in the back 40 have been staying on top of their game and working the patented formula and pulling out the white nectar. So I think they're on a streak of what, 3 or 4 in a row of bottles of white nectar, which is the more desirable. So we've been avoiding that tart. So it's good. I mean, look, both nectars have proprietary healing formulas. but I'm not going to turn down a bottle of red because it takes 20 hours to ferment. What's the nectar taste like? It's really hard to describe because we're the first human to ever taste it. Easy. Easy.
Let's go.
Easy. That scared the crap out of me. Hang on here, boys. What the heck? Is this a dead end? No, I thought there's a way to get out of here.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's go. This is not wise. I heard whizzers from the right. Someone's behind us. Sit yourself! Let's go. Dude, he just... I'll tell you what, we're lucky, man. If he had that gun drawn right off the jump, whoo, maybe looking like a pizza pie right now, my dudes. We're geared up, man. I do want to check this dude for some loot, though. Need some G-Hills. We got to drop some trash here. We got enough heals to win, I think. What can I dump here? What? We don't need this 8x. Why are we holding 2 8x's? Not enough. Give me 3 of them. What? All right, let's go. Dan, quit messing with that, okay? We're having a tough time seeing peeps. Easy. The gold chain is on the line. For the first phone in Friday! Exclamation point phone in chat. You know there's people up on those hills. The cherry hills of Nostradamus. I don't really want to be up there. Because anyone up there can snipe us. Gratata. This is not a good spot to be in, I can promise you that. We want to be up that hill.
Reload.
Wait for him. Let's go! Sit yourself! Let's go! Thank you for the reload tip, my dude. Who are we? I'm you, but stronger. Don't get cocky, Dan, because we're the same thing. One hit away. I'm just telling you, there's people up there. I don't trust them. Thunk, thunk. So it's me, a thunk dude, and one dude right here. I think he's in the hut. He's coming up behind. Are you freaking kidding me? We pumped him. We had such an advantage. The advantage was us. Hip fire. Yo, can someone clip that? We have to study our game tape if we're ever gonna get the gold chain. Oh. I knew where he was. He just gotta rise up. I got cocky. Oh, we took it. He snatched it from us. Whoever that was. We tip the cap to you. Later, Curry. Thanks for hanging out. Scotty119, thanks for the bits and the reload tip. I wish it mattered. I think it would have mattered. It definitely kept us in that fight, Scotty. Thank you so much. Spring Apple, thank you so much for supporting the show with your Amazon Prime account, donning the gold chain, the red shirt for the first time. A Spring Apple, the first to patent a formula to grow apples in the wintertime that bloom in the spring. Thank you so much for your support. Canuck Dizzle, thank you so much for supporting the show. First-time subscriber, donning the gold chain, the red shirt, all the way from the west coast of Vancouver. Canuck Dizzle, the first DJ in the Canuck NHL franchise. Got to thank Real El Chessbreath, Northern Lion, Flack Blag, and Roundtable Podcast. Thank you guys so much for the hosts. Appreciate it immensely. Ed Troll, thank you so much for supporting the show. Donning the gold chain, the red shirt for the first time. Ed Troll 100% created the first bulldozer, a champion of the heavy machinery industry. Ed Troll, happy to have you here. S. Waldron, new subscriber, donning the gold chain, the red shirt for the first time. The first individual to put a vinyl liner inside of the black Halloween cauldrons that we've known to love. S. Waldron, thank you so much for your support. Welcome. Bondi got thanks to 100 bits. He says, I'm talking about 3 by the head and 3 by the leg of a very famous Kanye lyric. Thank you so much. And AJG, thank you so much for the 2 months of support, donning the gold chain, the red shirt. It's Play-Doh. Thank you for the 200 bits. Thank you guys for the acquiescence. See you, Sabby. Have a good one. Blake Kings, thanks for the host, Reno. All right. Shall we open a crate? Ooh, we're 100 away. Shannon, you there? Shannon, hop in ultralight beams if you're still there. Right, hot tip, right click ammo or meds to only pick up. Ooh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Red Dawn Burning. Also, there was someone who made a comment about the voting system in the white marble chat room. I'd like to see it. I saw it go by too fast. I'll tell you what, man. Bring it. Oh, wait, I did a duo. If we're going to take a... If it's still phone in Friday, we got to play a solo here. I'm waiting for Shannon to hop in the studio, give us a quick update.
Hello?
Shannon, what's going on?
Nothing much.
Real quick, give me your objective, non-biased 1 to 10 rating on our second caller ever and on Phone In Friday, Chagger. What did you think?
I think that was about a 9. I thought that was really good.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. What's going on in the lobby right now? How are our guests doing?
Everyone's still muted, so.
Okay. Do you have someone ready to go?
Yep.
All right, let's bring them in.
Okay.
Real quick, if you're new, Phone In Friday, ! Phone in chat. Step 1, join the Discord. Step 2, hop in the call waiting room. Shannon's the gatekeeper. She makes the decisions. She clears the calls. Shannon, who do we got here? I need a phone. Shannon.
Hello?
Is Shannon here?
You got CJ.
Shannon, hey, we gotta get here. Exit the room. We gotta. Shannon's gotta introduce you.
Yeah.
She'll bring you back in.
Hello.
Shannon. I know we're coming off a 9 out of 10 call. Can you tell me who's next up on the call-in list?
CJ Murphy.
CJ Murphy. Okay. And all right. Thank you so much. Let's slide him in.
No problem.
All right. Thanks.
Damn.
CJ Murphy, where are you calling in from, my dude?
I'm calling in from Kingston area, Ontario.
Kingston, Ontario, the hometown of
Yeah. Northern Line.
Ryan Gary Letourneau out of Kingston, Ontario. You share the same space. Let me ask you this. How old are you? CJ?
22.
You're 22.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have crossed paths with said Letourneau. He's about 6 years older than you.
Yeah, not through school or anything like that. I could have seen him if he still visits.
Is there any lore lurking around Kingston, that any legendary spots that Mr. Letourneau visited? You know the high school. Don't tell me what high school he went to. Do you know the high school he went to?
I don't know the high school.
How big is Kingston?
Kingston's about a bit over 100,000, I think.
Okay, so it's a large acquiescence.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
How many high schools are in Kingston?
I don't really know, because I'm actually from a city that's right outside of Kingston.
I believe he is as well. You could be from the same hometown and not even know it. He keeps it heavily shrouded, though, you know?
It's at the bottom of it.
So what's your story, man? You work, you go to school?
So I just graduated nursing school.
Nursing? Okay, so you're an R. They call it an RN in Canada, or they call it something else?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you
RN.
acquiesced to your first position yet, or no?
I just actually applied like 2 days ago to 3 different jobs.
When did
in
you?
Kingston.
Did you literally just graduate, or how long ago did you graduate?
Really just graduated.
Okay, congratulations, my dude.
Thank you.
Did you listen to a little Post Malone on graduation day, or no?
I did actually. It was like played song around my graduation.
Nice. Very cool. So you just graduate. Next hurdle in life, you want to acquiesce a nursing position, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Good for you,
And
man.
then get a car.
What why did you decide to become a medical professional?
Well, when I was in high school, I was interested in, like, from an early age, I was interested in either nursing or physiotherapy. I knew I was into health and helping people and stuff like that. And
Do you work out?
I do.
Okay.
And I have.
Okay. So at a young age, you knew, hey, look, I want to get into the health industry somehow.
That's right. Even
Okay.
in high school.
Okay. So then you pursue it was a nursing degree or biology degree, or what is it?
It's a 4-year degree, undergraduate degree in nursing sciences.
Okay. So you get that. What was the most difficult part about that journey?
Definitely clinical placements and balancing that with all the assignments. Like, you have a few placements each week, so you have to get up and do 12-hour placements and stuff like that.
For those of us that don't acquiesce what the heck a placement is, what is a placement?
So a clinical placement is basically you work in hospital as a nurse, basically, as your student.
Have you ever called a hospital a hospy? Wait, did you say yes?
I do now. I call them hospies now.
Do you ever say that to your coworkers?
I try to keep it on the down low, actually.
What do you think would happen if you said, hey, called up one of your coworkers and say, hey, are you going to hospy today? What do you think they would say?
I feel like they might be weirded out at first, but I think it could really catch on after that.
Yeah, you never know. Okay, so you get your nursing degree ready to go. Did you see like blood and guts and like throw up and?
Oh yeah, you see it all.
What's the what's the most difficult thing you've seen? Keeping it as clean as possible for our viewing audience.
As clean as possible. Lots of wounds. Probably like wound care is probably, you see a lot of nasty stuff in wound care.
Like
exciting.
like wound care, like
So, like, it could
gunshot
be,
wound.
like, there was a stabbing.
Were you involved in that?
In the stabbing?
Yeah.
No.
I'm no
I
in
mean,
in treating said stab wound.
Yeah, I've done like dressing changes, things like that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so you get to see it and all the stuff that's there.
And you're not grossed out by that?
I mean, you get used to it. At first, you are. But
Like,
you definitely get used to it.
Did you throw up your first time?
No, but I had a friend on the first day throw up.
Really? Did you laugh at him, or
Yeah.
did you like sterilize the area?
I in the room, so I helped the patient and cleaned up, but also made sure he was okay.
Wait, let me ask this. So when you guys, so like you're like doing, I don't say like test stuff, but like you're doing on the job training, right? When you're in school, like does the patient know like you don't know what the heck you're doing?
Yeah, and you'd be surprised how open they are, actually.
What do you mean? Like, no offense, but if I have a major wound, I'm calling in like the 10-year vet. I don't want the rookie straight out of the farm league. Like, I mean, people are just like, yeah, cool. You've never done this before, but sure, stick your fingers in my wound.
I mean, I didn't quite stick any fingers in any wounds, but
Don't you have to do that to like patch it up?
I mean, you try not to go put your finger inside. I mean, you clean it and there's lots
Well,
of
how do you clean it?
with sterile tools.
Like, what's a sterile tool? A scalpel?
I mean, if you needed it, but I mean, I didn't do any surgery or anything like that. So I'd never used a scalpel, but like there's tweezers
Thank you for the
and
donation.
I mean, you can wear
I
gloves,
appreciate
but
your
I mean, you're not just
Wait, what did you say? You wear
there's
gloves.
like yeah, gloves. Like if I was gonna put my finger in a wound, I would wear gloves.
Well, what if you gotta like fish out like a BB or something?
I don't know if that'd be my place to remove a BB. I haven't been in a setting where I've had to remove a bullet or a BB or
Like, what if there's
the
like,
knife wasn't there.
what if there's like fuzz in a wound from your bandage?
You clean that. I mean, you'd use like saline, tweezers. I mean,
Got it. Would
you keep it sterile.
do you do yeah, keep it clean. Do you ever use anything that like not burns but like alcohol or like any sort of compound like that to clean a wound?
Yeah, but you don't always have to. But yeah.
Like when you do that and you know it's gonna like sting the crap out of the person, do you warn them or you just dump it in there?
Of course, I warn them. I mean, what kind of a nurse would I be if I just poured it?
Well, I don't want to assume anything, but like, what's your bedside manner? Like, what do you say? Like, hey, this is gonna feel like your tooth's getting yanked, but it's gonna be okay, or how do you like brace them for impact?
Yeah. Something along the lines of that. I mean, I think I have pretty good bedside manner, but I'd say like, just so you know, this is going to be painful. Are you all right if I do it?
And what if they say, no, you better not touch that alcohol near my body? What do you do?
Well, nobody's ever said no.
No one. Well, you must not. How long you been doing it?
4 years.
So in 4 years, no one's ever gave you the no, you're not doing that.
No.
So you must have really good bedside manner.
I mean, I take pride in it.
Okay. If someone like, do they train you? Like, if someone says no, what are you supposed to do?
Like, are really adamant about it, then I mean, you could either, as a student, you could have somebody else do it, somebody they're more comfortable with doing it, or just basically explain that it has to be done, or have somebody else explain it.
Well, like, what if it, like, they talk you out of not actually doing it?
They talk me out of it?
Yeah.
No, it hasn't happened.
Do you think it's a possibility that could happen or no?
Well, let me ask you this: would you? Is that the stance that you would take?
What, that like if someone's like, hey, look, I'm gonna pour something in your orifice that's gonna sting the crap out of you? Of course, I would say there's got to be another way.
What if I explain that for whatever reason it had to be done for you to get better to avoid pain in the long run?
Well, what if I said, do you have a non-painful version of it? So like, could you like knock me out and then do it?
I couldn't. Likely couldn't just knock you out. No.
Well, could someone knock me out?
I mean, if you I don't. You'd have to speak with your physician probably if you were that adamant about being unconscious.
Well, maybe I was. What are they gonna tell me? No.
I mean, well, it depends on what reasons you give them.
Okay, I got you. All right, so you have good bedside manner. You've done a little. You've gotten your hands dirty a little bit. Nothing too crazy, right?
No.
Okay. And you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you, my dude. Was there at any point where you're like, I'm not sure this is the route I want to go?
I think that's I think that happened to half the people I went to school with, but
What do you mean? They couldn't hack it, or they just didn't like it?
they couldn't get around the fluids and all that stuff.
That's but you rose above the fluids, more or less.
Yes, I rose above.
All right, good for you. Cool, dude. So you're from Kingston, work in the medical field, looking for a job in a hospital. I'm guessing hospice.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can work in a lot of different places in nursing, but yeah, hospital would be good.
Like a clinic as well.
Yeah, clinic, doctor's office, things like that.
What would you prefer?
I mean, I think I'm open to just doing a bunch of different things, like not working the same job for 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Would you ever be a TN? Would you ever be a TN?
What's TN?
TN is a traveling nurse.
A travel? Oh yeah.
Okay.
One of the nurses I actually know in my hometown went to New Zealand for a few years. That was the first thing they did out of grad.
Was TN'd?
Yeah.
Okay.
They TN. They traveled.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Well, so now we know a little bit about your backstory from Kingston.
Yeah.
Got the nursing science degree, looking for the job, and you got through.
Get
Hang on.
sticky.
Okay, so you got through the ironclad security. I see you, my dude. Of Shannon.
I did. I made it.
What you got a question, topic? What did you want to come on the show and talk about?
Okay. So today's Friday the 13th. I don't know if you noticed.
I did.
And that only happens once every decade.
What?
Yeah.
You're telling me there's only a Friday the 13th once every 10 years?
In October.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's October, which is Halloween. I wanted to take a turn, especially since the last question was so good and it was so deep. I wanted to take a turn sort of away, maybe a bit more simple.
Yeah, you want to go surface level, like a little more lighthearted.
I'm taking a step back.
I can respect
that.
it.
Fantastic conversation.
Okay.
A 9 out of 10. I can't beat a 9 out of 10,
Well,
but I'm gonna go with.
Well, here's the thing. It's not, the show's not about beating. It's just about bringing a level of entertainment. It could be through a deep, but I would probably say the majority of them are probably meme, aka surface level. Which there's no right, wrong, or indifferent. But I acquiesce. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's no competition. So I would like to ask, do you believe in supernatural? Do you believe in ghosts?
So we'll just say nothing personal against CJ Murphy, but that would be the first. CJ, I like you, my dude. I would like to reinvite CJ back into the waiting room to die, because I don't want to be rude, but this part of the phone in Friday is a learning process.
Go.
That's not fair. Shannon, bring CJ back in. Shannon, bring CJ back in. May have jumped the gun a little bit there. Well, Dan, you can't jump the gun. What do you mean I can't? I can jump the gun as long as I don't fire. I could jump the gun. We'll get CJ back in here.
Hello.
CJ, you still there? All right, so I jumped the gun a little bit there. But I would say while I'm answering this question, I'd like you to formulate another question, because here's my answer. When it comes to that topic, I prefer not to get involved. Here's why. I just don't think that's something I would prefer to mess with. I don't have an answer. I just think it's something in my everyday life I choose not to. I acknowledge the question. I guess you could say it's taking the fifth, more or less, but it's just not. Let's just make an assumption. Oh, let me get this kill. One shot. Let's just assume. Let's just play devil's advocate. Let's assume that, let's say there's a truth to what you said. If that is the case, I don't want to crack open that box. If there's not, I don't want to crack open that box. So either way, that's my stance on it. People that have an opinion one way or another, I think it's their acquiescence. Personally, let's just say it's in a lockbox. I like to leave it in a lockbox.
If you want to leave that door shut,
yeah,
by all means.
Okay. And I feel like I answered the question, but I almost feel like, hey, look, you came on the show. You're trailblazing on the first episode. If you had a backup question, I would acquiesce. If you don't, no big deal.
I do have a backup question.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask, totally different.
Yeah.
What's your long-term goal for your YouTube channel and your Twitch stream? What's your long-term goal, like, as in, let's say, 3 to 5 years from now?
Okay. That's a question that we can remove from the lockbox. So, I guess my goal is to just have it be a part of my life, if that makes sense. So for me, I've always approached YouTube and Twitch over the past 4+ years as a business. Although people may or may not know, depending on what stage of the development I was at, whether like early YouTube, early Twitch, like I treat it like a business, but I would do it even if it wasn't a business. So, but since I'm doing it, I treat it like that, right? So I take it serious. Like I make sure I schedule stuff, blah, 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 blah. But I guess my goal would be just to continue to grow and expand and experiment. Meaning that, like, I touched on it a little bit earlier when Chagger hopped on about, like, telling him to make music. Like, I've tried a bunch of different stuff on Twitch, right? Some of it worked. Some of it hasn't. I feel like to even get to this point right now with this show, like, it wouldn't have been possible without some of the failures before it. Not saying that this is a success, but I kind of am saying it. It's like, for me, like, this has been a lot of fun and people enjoy watching it. So as long as I can continue to do that, like, I have literally zero plans to ever stop. So let me just acquiesce a little bit further. So I have like a real life job and business that I do. Okay. I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But like, if that was my life, and I guess this is breaking the fourth wall, it wouldn't be, from an internal, like, what I want to do standpoint, it wouldn't be fulfilling. Like, yes, I love my family. Yes, like, that's fulfilling. But from, like, a personal what I want to do, if that was the only thing I did and I didn't have this kind of outlet or this, I wouldn't be happy. So thus, my goal is to just make sure that I can always do both, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that answers your question. There's the thing about here's about the thing about Phone In Fridays, CJ. And this is like, it's kind of the catch-22. Phone In Friday, it turns the tables on your boy, right? Normally, we're going down the one-way street called interrogation, and there's no traffic the other way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I may have to reevaluate because I prefer not. I don't say prefer, but like we don't break the fourth wall. But that was a good question, my dude. You brought the thunder. Let me ask this: how long you been watching Twitch?
So I've been watching throughout on YouTube, so about 4 years ago.
Okay, so I know, like, dude, I've seen you around for a long time. So you've been around Twitch when it's been like, at least in particular with our channel, it's been like a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
So
I've been through it.
Well.
Yeah, no,
No, go ahead.
From years of university, just tuning into your stream, stuff like that. Good way to unwind.
Well, I appreciate it, my dude, and I appreciate you hanging around because I know when it's CJ Murphy, it's like, I didn't know you're from Kingston, but I knew your name. Now associate with you, being acquiesceable with Mr. Letourneau. But CJ, thank you. You're the third call-in on Phone In Friday. I appreciate you trailblazing, my dude.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Good luck. Keep us posted when you get when you sign your first contract. Take a picture of that and post it in the Discord.
Will do.
I mean, maybe don't put the financials on it, but you know.
Yeah, maybe I'll block that.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right, later. All right, so CJ Murphy calling straight out of Kingston. How are we doing on G Hills? Good. So we got top 14 left. Got to know a little about the acquiescence. CJ just touch the hot stove just a little bit. We're gonna make it here. We are. You know, and in regards to that being Friday the 13th, Halloween-esque, just my answer is I don't know, and I don't want to touch it. I know there's people on one end of the station that said 100% yes. Other people say 100% no. I'm saying I don't know. And we better G-Hill. And I'm not touching it. Which is why, I guess, like, I really want to see it, right? Like, I can't convince the missus to see it, which I can respect. But that's also why I play one horror game a year. I enjoy a day or a stream or a series of being frightened because I think it's fun, right? It gets the mojo going a little bit. But on an everyday basis, I don't want to turn the corner and get the yonkers scared out of me. I wish we could see his health. Disco, thank you for the donation. I appreciate your acquiescence. NBK Reborn, thanks so much, my dude. Appreciate the acquiescence. Disco, you are right. And if you are on Twitter, what I try to do, Friday's a Phone In Friday. It's we're breaking the fourth wall left and right. My short-term goal with the show is each show make it a little bit better, right? So what I would do, Disco, is what I'm going to do. If you can Discord me or tweet me, I will make sure that the improvement from this show to Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is that we reduce the size of the lower third so that you can see it. So thank you for the acquiescence on that tip. How does Phone In Friday work? Exclamation point. Oh, we got a long way to go. Exclamation point phone in chat. Number 1, join the Discord. Number 2, sit in the call waiting room. Shannon will, Sergeant Shannon's the gatekeeper. She'll put you through the iron jaws of security. Make sure that let's go. Sit yourself. She will make sure the question is within the realms of keeping the white marble chat room clean. We need this guy's loot. And then you slide in the DMs. That's what we needed, my dudes. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Well, Dan, you should have checked his armor. Dan, you should have checked his ammo. Look, we got the blue on us. I think we're still going to be okay, though. It's the same circle. I'm kind of digging these solo. I feel like I play better solos. Well, Dan, I would acquiesce. You've got nothing but top 10s. Look, I didn't want to toot our own horn, but This is the moment. We are so exposed right now. We've committed. Oh. Let's go. Okay. Let's come up with the next plan. Yo, we got no boosties? Hey, Todation. Welcome to the show, my dude. We go live. Oh, there's a drop. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Hope you're enjoying it. We just got to get in our position, dude. Acquiesced. I mean, I guess at this point we have no option but to go for it. This was the direct. We wanted to turlet strat this. All eyes are going to be here. I wish we could see the HP. Yeah, and then on Monday, you'll be able to see the HP. Gilly. Give me Gilly. MK. Let's go. I don't know what it is, but let's do it. Yo, thanks to bits, my dude.
Putting the Yeezys to good use getting out of the blue. Ivy. GG fam.
Thanks, my dude. Yo, can we use this? Is this thing real? The dongle. Okay, sit yourself. Let's go. You can't shoot us behind here because I know you're right here. Do we have any smokies? How much time? 19 seconds? We're good. We're in the blue. We're good. Not in the blue. We're good. Let's go. It's a fully murdered MK14. I don't know the power this thing has. We're good, right? We're not going to be in the white. An 8x. Is it good? Vest got wrecked. Do we have any smokes? We do have a smoke in case. Let's see where the next circle goes. We're okay, right? Stadium status. Oh, we're not doing duos. We're doing call-ins today. Phone in Friday. Where do we think our dude's at? Up there. Oh, we got to hike. I mean, this is it, my dudes. Oh, Dan, why do you keep saying my dudes? Climb the wall, Jon Snow. We're okay. We got time. Turlet strats. We're in top 5. Why is this gun trash? Let's go! Oh, maybe it's not trash. Maybe just your aim is trash. Excuse me? Let's sit yourself. We got to get down. It's too far, Dan. Is the rock safe? It's not. Let's go. Let's go. Too close for the 8x. Maybe you're right. That's all we got, my dudes. I put a 2-banger on it. We got the upper hand. The gold chain is calling for us. We got the high ground. We got close circ. I don't think there's anyone to our right. We're going to gamble and not even look that way. I see him. Is that little red speck right there? Let's go. I see you. Sit yourself. Medkit up. Let's go. Top 2. The gold chain calls for no one but us. No. I could taste it. I could taste it. We could taste it. It was tasteable. You could taste it. We dust ourselves off. You hear a high-pitched noise. You pick up the necty. You take a swig. And you live to fight another day. Oh, man. We're getting there. We're knocking on the door. The door is being knocked upon. You hear that? That's not someone. That's us knocking on the door to the gold chain. Dom Zadio. Thank you so much for the bits. NBK Reborn. 100% been coming back. Time after time again. Every show comes in. Spikes a gold chain inside the white marble chat room. Thank you for your acquiescence. Appreciate the donation, NBK. Blackest, thank you so much. Donning the gold chain, the red shirt for 2 straight months, a champion of the black light industry. Generalissimo, mustard stain, 100%. Welcome, gold chain, red shirt for the first time. Welcome to red shirt champions. 100%. Generalissimo, mustard stain. The character Colonel Mustard from the board game Clue was actually based upon Generalissimo's mustard stain. Welcome. We appreciate your acquiescence. Well, that was our first time getting the handle on the MK14. I liked it. It had a little razzle dazzle to it. Can we get the Yeezys? Can we unlock the There's no Yeezys on this. Have you ever seen someone unbox a crate that they earned with in-game currency, didn't put real money into it, and got a purple or red tier item? You're about to. All right. Shannon, you there? I know Shannon's, if you're new, phone in Friday, something we're trying new. We got Shannon working the lobby of the studio. We got people in the waiting room. She's going through the iron jaw security system of screening the calls.
Cloves game. Nearly had that din.
Mom Jitto, thank you so much for the bits. Shannon is, if you want to get on the show, exclamation point, phone in and chat. Number 1, join the Discord. Number 2, slide into the call waiting voice channel. You'll be greeted by Shannon. And just waiting for Shannon to hop on. Let's go ahead and queue up.
Hello.
Shannon, what's going on? How are you doing this afternoon?
Great.
Good. What's your non-biased, objective opinion out of 10 on the last call?
I thought it started off well and ended well, but support that was just a little,
So
questionable.
So part of this is running the Iron Jaw security system that you have at your disposal. And there's going to be some bugs in the system you're working out, but out of a 10-point scale, what did you rate that call?
I'd say about an 8. Yeah.
Okay. All right. 8. Shannon's got a very objective rating scale. Do you have the next caller ready to go?
I do.
What is said person's name?
Nof.
Who?
Nof. N-O-F.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's if they pass your Iron Jaw security clearance, let's bring Nof in.
Oh.
Shannon is, my wife's name is Chelsea. Shannon is running the studio. I'm in the studio. She's in the lobby taking the calls. She's a moderator in the channel. She's the gatekeeper to the studio. That's who Shannon is. Let's go North Georgia. Nof, you there, my dude?
My dude?
Hey, Nof, can you turn up your mic, my dude?
Yes.
Okay. What's up, Nof? Where are you calling from?
Detroit.
Detroit? Like the city proper, or are you in a surrounding suburb?
Well, I live in Sterling Heights, but I'm in Southfield right now working.
Ah, wait, so you're at work right now?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm very familiar with Sterling Heights. Are you a stallion, or are you whatever the Stevenson mascot is?
I'm not actually from around here, so I don't have a high school affiliation.
Where are you from originally?
I grew up in Lenawee County, which is south.
Is that like Monroe County? Lenawee, is that middle of the state? Where is that?
No, it's right at the bottom of the state. It's right next to Monroe County.
Oh, okay. How did you acquiesce yourself in Sterling Heights? For those people that don't know, real quick, Nof is from here, but lives here, and I have the state completely backwards. That's where he's from. That's, I don't know, it's somewhere in there. Anyways, how did you end up acquiescing yourself on the east side of the state?
So my wife is a doctor, so we've kind of moved around through her education, and then she did her clinicals in Clinton Township, and then we've sort of been there ever since and sort of made our home. So we've been here about 10 years almost. Okay.
I have to say, Nof, I haven't seen you around too much until we started the Dan Gheesling show. Then and acquiesce me if I'm wrong, I think I've seen you in every show we've had, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday show.
It's true. I saw, I think, a YouTube video of you because I've really to PUBG, and I'm like, I saw Dan Gheesling plays PUBG. I'm a big Brother fan since season 8.
I appreciate it, my dude.
So I'm like, it's the perfect combination, Dan Gheesling and PUBG.
Hey, I don't want to toot my own horn, but if you're doing a great job at that. No, like for real, like I noticed your name, like dude has been at every show, and I acquiesce. So you watch it work?
Yeah, I mean, I have it on. Probably watch more than I should, but
like, what do you do for work?
Developer.
What do you do?
I'm a software developer.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you work in Southfield. Do you have a boss?
Yeah.
Have you ever told them to sit themselves down?
Not yet, but I plan to.
Has your boss or any other, maybe not necessarily your boss, but any coworkers walked by, and like, do you have 2 monitors or 1 monitor?
2. I keep it on the one kind of angle away from the door. I watch YouTube. I listen to YouTube stuff like all day. Like I just have it on. Everyone does.
But has anyone came by and be like, "Hey, what are you watching? Turn this trash off."
No, we're pretty laid back here.
Okay. Like?
In fact, my boss is actually in Seattle, so
it's
cool anyway.
So right now it's just a free for all. Like people are watching like Seinfeld on their speakers and like.
Maybe we're pretty laid back. We got our work done, and that's all that matters.
What kind of software development, or what kind of software do you develop?
House stuff, so mostly like APIs, and it's kind of hard to explain. I guess it's kind of boring to the normal person, but I like it.
I'll tell you what. Sometimes the most boring of biscuits become the most spicy when broken down to an elementary level that someone like myself can understand. How would you explain an API to a first grader?
To a first grader?
Yeah.
So I write the software that your little, if I'm talking to a first grader, that your little iPad app would communicate. Even though that's not the situation.
So you write the software that does what?
Gives all the information to your app or your website or whatever the front end is, I guess.
So it's like if a piece of software was like a cookie stand, you show the cookies where to distribute themselves?
Yes.
All right, well, let me ask this. If a piece of software was a car, the API would be the engine? Well, let's go a little bit further, because clearly, not through your own acquiescence, through my own fault, I don't understand. What is you create APIs?
Well, let's put it in gaming terms.
Okay.
So you have PUBG, the client.
Okay. Client meaning what I download and acquiesced.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you have PUBG, the server, and those are two different pieces of software.
Okay.
The server piece has an API, which allows the client to communicate with it. So when you press W on your, sends a payload that says, Dan, just press W, and the server says, okay, Dan, press W, I'm going to move his character forward.
Okay.
So all that happens with really a small amount of data moving back and forth between the server and the client.
Got it. Okay, so if we ripped the engine or the API out of the car, I would step on the gas and the car wouldn't move.
Yeah, I would say the API would be like the line that connects the gas pedal to the engine, I guess.
So let me ask this. Was there ever a time in software where there wasn't an API?
Yeah, probably. I would think if you package your front end and back end together, like say you had a standalone game, there's no transition. The internet really is what brought a lot of this on.
So let me ask this. AOL, did they have an API?
I'm sure they did for their chat client.
Okay. So that's you. So an API allows two pieces of software that may or may not be connected the ability to communicate.
Yep.
So it's like
it's building a bridge.
Now you're now you're speaking my language, my dude. So like if you're playing PUBG with a friend from overseas and you don't speak the same language, you drop Michael, and then that is the API.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So gotcha. So that's what you do. So you're a programmer. How long you've been doing it for? A decade?
Yeah. I've been doing it for. Yeah.
Are you self-taught? Did you go to a university or college?
I went to school for it.
Did you go to a school in the state of Michigan or another state?
I went to the great College of Baker.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of bakers around.
Yeah, it's.
Did you feel like? I don't want to put a school on blast, but do you feel like they taught you a lot, or do you feel like you taught yourself through experiences?
I would say you get out of school what you put into it. And then also with software development in general, anyone can actually do this by picking up a book and learning. The degree gives you a lot more clout when you're going to job interviews.
So like, you're like, hey, there's people trying to sell their mixtape out of the back of their trunk. When you're saying when you have your programming degree or Unity certification, you'd be like, hey, look, some producers may start calling you asking for beats.
Yeah, and there's a big market for it too. If anyone that's listening is interested in software development, there's a huge need right now. It's only going to increase.
Why you seem pretty confident about that? Why do you think that?
We have a heck of a time trying to get qualified people, especially since our company is based in Seattle, where all the big boys are. It's really hard. But even here in Detroit, it's extremely hard to find qualified software developers. So.
You mean you're telling me it's hard to find good talent in the Detroit area?
Well, I should, but even. I mean, Detroit though is turning
That's
around.
Gabe calling. Hold on one sec. That's not Gabe. It's actually hold on. Hey, buddy, I'm on a live show right now. How are you? Did you just wake up from his nap? I'm gonna show him real quick on the show. Hi, buddy. Hi. Okay, I'll see you after the show. Pretty soon. The show started at 2 o'clock. And everyone knows Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 2 to 5. I'll see you guys. Love you.
Love you.
Bye. All right. Sorry about that. So what are you saying? There's no talent in the Detroit market?
I'm not saying there's no talent. I'm just saying that there's not enough. But that's not just a Detroit problem. That's a problem a lot of places.
So how
we import a lot of our talent actually.
What do you mean by import?
A lot of immigrants go into this field, and it's a big part of the industry.
Like people move to Michigan, or you hire people overseas and they stay overseas?
We don't really outsource, but like we hire people from overseas. You know, people that come here. Here become citizens, or the H1, the work visa program allows a lot of other people, and I'm always trying to evangelize getting into software because we just don't have enough here, and we're very dependent on immigrants coming here to help us in that department, along with other industries like doctors and whatnot.
Okay. So let me ask you, are you at the office right now?
Yeah.
Are you in a cubicle? Do you have an office? What's kind of your setting?
I have a team room right now, but I'm the only one in it. So
it's like
sort of an office.
It's like a conference room, but you can close the doors.
This is where my desk is, but it's like I guess I should say it's an office. But the plan is for it to be in a team room, but there's no other developers here, so.
So like normally, do you share said team room?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So that was my next question. If you're at work, how are you able to have such an open conversation? But I say, hey, maybe like your boss is cool, or maybe your boss is in Seattle sipping on some Starbucks, and like while the rooster's away, the pigs in the trough will play. That's the saying, right?
Friday, like everyone's already cleared out of here.
Oh, okay.
I would be gone now if it weren't for your show.
Well, I'm sorry for keeping you at the office.
No.
Real quick, not to get super personal, but I'm extremely familiar with the Southfield area. Are you in one of the towers, or are you in a local?
Yeah, one of the towers, but not in the big cluster.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's all by itself, a little bit west of everything.
Okay.
The one that has a bank heading.
I know the one that you speak of. I drive by it often. Well, I'll just give a quick salute to NOF 27. 27, right?
All right.
Yeah. Real quick before we jump into your reason for calling in, what's the name? Or how'd you get the name NOF 27?
NOF is a nickname that I have. It's the first part of my last name. It's just kind of stuck. So my gamer tag before it seems a little bit juvenile for my age, so I decided to move on. We ask a new name.
What number one, what age bracket are you in? Naf, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm 35.
Okay. So juvenile, in my opinion, is in the eye of the beholder. Will you share with us your previous gamer tag?
Yeah, it's J Money.
Dude, that's what do I have to do to get you to go back to J Money? Not that I don't like NOF, because it's kind of it sounds like Nas.
It's my it is still my gamer tag. I kind of have a dual life going on here.
What do you mean dual life?
I got my Xbox life and I got my my PUBG life, and so I keep them separated.
Well, what would a guy have to do to acquiesce you to merge and consolidate your branding efforts?
I don't know if I'm concerned about a brand. I just like to have fun.
I know, but like J Money, like I thought you were gonna say like, I mean, Poo Poo had 755. Like I get that, but like J Money, it's like you come rolling in with. But I will say this: if your name was J Money, like were there any X's or dollar signs on either side of it?
No.
Were there any?
Just 27.
Okay, so I will say, to your acquiescence, if your name was J Money, I could see what you're saying. Like I would maybe, if your name was J Money, I wouldn't think you were a 35-year-old programmer.
That's okay. I probably don't act like a 35-year-old programmer.
No,
in Xbox Live.
but I think that's the thing. That's the whole gambit is like you're a programmer by day, but rap superstar by night.
Yeah.
How did you get the J Money? Like where did that come from?
I was living with a buddy right out of college, and we were playing some Halo, and he had an Xbox, and he's like, I'm gonna make you an account here, and I'm like, okay, and he's like, what do you want to be? I'm like, you pick it, and that's what he picked. So my first name starts with a J, so that's
but so J Money, like he made like, so you didn't make it up, it came from someone else. So what do you think would lead him to believe, or what have you done around him that like he would give you the name J Money? Because J Money, I would think, is like the type of nickname someone gives you for being like baller status, for doing like good stuff, you know, like if you're not doing good stuff or being acquiesceable, your name's not J Money. So like, did you do crazy stuff? Were you able to like, J Money is like a term of endearment. What did you do to get endearment from your boy?
I don't know. We're just boys. I don't know. He saw it in me. I can't explain it.
Do you still talk to said individual?
Yeah. He's from my hometown, but every once in a while.
Do you guys still like
here, so.
do you like game together, or what do you guys do?
No, he kind of grew up in that department.
What do you mean grew up in like?
I mean, some people, they get old and they just stop having fun.
Well, I mean, right now I'm just trying to punch the emergency brakes and slam on the brakes because I don't think you're that type of guy. But going from J Money to Naf, I'm not saying it is. I would just, at this point, if I see you maybe like start not coming around often, I may send out a search squad to Southfield and make sure that your fun card is still in effect. You know?
It's in effect.
Okay. All right. What do you think? Do you have the dude's phone number?
Do I have? Yeah, I have his phone number.
Would you consider calling him on speakerphone just so we could find out how he came?
I actually think he's out of the country right now.
Well, I mean, there's only really one way to find out.
I could. I don't know if he'll answer.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't answer, there's no harm, no foul, you know?
All right, let me see. He won't be able to hear you though, because the way my setup is.
That's okay. You can be like, you know, when I use the T9000. You could be like the T9. First off, you don't want to come swinging out of the gate. Hey, look, I'm on a live stream. Blah blah blah. You're like, just, you know, warm them up a little bit, and then well, first off, just see if he answers. Can you put it on speakerphone though when you dial?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, we gotta go. Speak. Sleep Cycles. Thanks for the host, man. Really appreciate it, my dudes.
All right. Can you hear it?
No, you gotta hold it closer. I got it. That's perfect. I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh, he won't hear you.
Okay.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Oh, hey, what's up?
What's up, dude? It's been a while.
So, what are you doing?
So I'm on this live show, right? And the topic of my gamer tag J Money came up.
Hold on, I
Oh,
Let me,
What's he at? Is he at a drive-thru or something? Tell him to order his beer Burger King later. This is an important phone call.
you still there?
yeah. Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yeah, it's really quiet. What's going on?
All right, so I have a question for you.
Okay.
So I'm on this live internet show. Oh my god. And they want to know how you came up with the name J Money for me.
How I came up with it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a weird question out of the book.
Whoa. There are no
I
weird
think
questions.
It was just like a strange, kind of like a attitude-infused name that I thought of at the time. I have no idea.
Was there anything that this is you speaking? Was there anything that I did that reflected the name J Money? Like, did I ever do
I can't
something?
really think of any specifics from back then. That was a long time ago. I don't really think there was anything specific that was running through my mind when I came up with it. With different names.
I wish I could talk to this dude right now. So, like, is there anything that I'd done in my past, like us hanging out, that reflected the J Money persona?
Hey, I'll hang on a second.
Sure.
All right, that. All right, Dan, say. Let's go ahead.
So, is there anything that Naf did that reflected like a money persona, like some swagger, confidence? Like, you don't call someone J Money unless they're like they're on top of their game. You know what I'm saying? It's like a term of endearment.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
So what did he act like, or what did he do to acquiesce such a like confident name?
No, I guess he was someone I looked up to. I could say that for sure.
I appreciate your acquiescence. I think we got the answer to our story.
All right, Derek. I'll call you back later, buddy. Sorry about that.
Naf, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So let me ask you this. Did you know that your boy looked up to you?
Yeah, I think so.
What makes you believe that outside of the fact you just heard him say it 3 seconds ago?
Oh, we've been through some stuff. We've helped each other through some stuff.
Sit yourself. That's cool, man. So now you know. So at least we don't have like we don't have a defining moment, but at least we know where his head was at when he came up with the name J Money.
I mean, that's important stuff to know.
So, are you now more or less likely to change your Twitch name from Noff27 to J Money 27?
That's a lot of work.
Okay.
Well, because it's the same as my PUBG name and my, it's everything's all the same and people know me and blah blah blah.
No, it's a fair statement, but you may be Noff to some people, but you'll always be J Money to me.
Sir, that's fair.
All right. So you got through the Shannon's Iron Jaw security system to make your way on to our first phone-in Friday. Did you have a topic, question, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, since you're in this area, your opinion is of the Detroit Lions this year, from what we've seen and what you think we can expect. Or let's put it this way: if they decided to fire Jim Caldwell tomorrow and put you in charge, what would you do?
Number one, I have to re-acquiesce. Are you a Lions fan or just like super casual?
Big Lions fan. I watch all the games.
Okay, so I would classify that as a big Lions fan. So how long have you been watching Lions football?
Not very long. Probably 6 or 7 years.
Okay, so like you've been through some of the traditional heartache that the traditional Lions fan may have acquiesced in.
16, but I've had the ups and downs since.
Okay. All right, so here's my genuine thoughts as a Lions fan. Although I know we're 3-2, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I know that we've lost 2 games. The Detroit News, the Free Press are panicking. We've got, in my opinion, an overpaid tight end in Eric Ebron that can't catch the Kingston cold. But at the same time, I've never seen a defense like we've had, and we've never had a quarterback like Matthew Stafford at the top of his game, a top 8 quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. I believe, I can say this with wholehearted certainty, I've never felt more confident in the Detroit Lions, not only making the playoffs, but also potentially getting to the NFC Championship game.
Wow, that's a lot of faith.
Do you agree, disagree, or acquiesce?
I want to, but I've had those thoughts before. I agree 100% with your opinion of Stafford. I think he's the real deal. He just has not had the people around him to make it happen, not the complete picture. Calvin Johnson was wasted by not having the rest of these pieces, because that was greatness between him and Stafford.
Well, let me throw you some. I just want to throw a little twig and berry your way and see what you think of it.
Twig and berry.
By Stafford not having Calvin Johnson, I think he's become a better quarterback. What are your thoughts?
I could see that.
Why could you?
Yeah,
could you see that?
I could definitely, because he can't rely on just throwing the jump ball and having Calvin go get it.
Okay.
And for a long time, I believed that Stafford wasn't as good as his stats because of Calvin Johnson. But since he's been gone, I've become a true believer.
Okay. So I'm thinking we literally have more than a coin's toss chance in getting to the NFC Championship game. Like, I wholeheartedly, like, I would consider, if I were a betting individual, I would consider wagering on that. Where's your level of comfort in wagering in terms of how far you think the Lions can get this year?
I don't know. I want my hope is for them to win a playoff game. That would be, for me, because we haven't seen that with Stafford yet. And we got there a couple times, and it's been when we started on the Dallas game, but and then make it to the NFC Championship. I don't know. I want to see more. I think you're right. I think the defense is playing very well. I think when Galladay comes back, that'll be great. I don't know. I'll go with you on it. I'll jump out on a limb for sake of Dan Gheesling and put my heart out there one more time.
That's garbage! That's garbage!
You just die. I'm watching the stream on delay here. There it is. You've been doing well, though. These duos, I don't know. Might not be
I need half a moment. All right, so Naf, your prediction on where the Lions will finish this year.
Well, they've won some games I didn't think they were going to win it when I looked at the schedule at the beginning of the season. So I'm going to go with 10-6. Optimistic.
Oh, okay. And then winning a playoff game or getting ousted week 1?
I'm going to be a believer. I'm going to say we're going to win that playoff game.
Well, Nav, when it comes back to playoff time, and we have another phone-in Friday, the Friday before said playoff game, I hope that you warm your phone up, because I would expect a call-in on the Friday before the Lions' first playoff game at the end of this season.
Sounds good.
All right, Naf, a.k.a. JMoney27, number 1, thank you so much for your support of the show. It's been awesome seeing you in every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thanks for being a trailblazer and being on the first phone-in Friday Dan Gheesling show.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, man, get home, man. You're going to get caught in Southfield traffic.
Sure.
All right, later, my dude. All right, we're going to dial up one more game. I will say this. People that are keeping track, this isn't what we're keeping track of, right? But we're clearly out of nectar. People are keeping track. Has it only been top 10 finishes today? Have we become us but stronger? I think we've been close. Also, excuse me real quick. Excuse me. We have a problem that must be solved. We got one more run in us. I'm parched. I can't move. I can't take another call until we get the nectar. But Dan, you've already acquiesced to 20-hour patented formula. Sometimes, if the scientists drop the ball, we have to go to our backup. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you what. It's not often that we expose the lab to the community. On the walls, there's parts of the patented formula, the 20-hour process. But as you guys know, the scientists are hard at work. Look, we can only produce 1 bottle of true bees nectar every 20 hours. There's going to be a point in time when the demand is going to overwhelmingly exceed the supply, so we've got to go to some reduced manners. Some genetic engineering based on the original bees nectar is going to have to happen. Does it taste the same? It's pretty close. Does it have the same interview, interrogation, diving below the crust properties? You best believe it. I can't take credit for it. The scientists in the back 40, we unveiled it last week. Nectar in a reduced powder form can last multiple nuclear blasts, still be milky white, the exact same consistency. If I brought Shannon into the studio and put a bottle of genetically altered bees nectar and the true bees nectar on a table, would she be able to tell the difference? One, I don't know, because no other human besides myself has ever had the actual bees nectar. So I don't know. It's pretty close. A blind taste test, maybe one day. All right, we'll go one more. We'll take one more caller. Shannon would slip on that spill you didn't clean up. Look, there's people that clean the white marble chat room and clean the pristine laboratory. There's going to be some spillage from time to time. Wilbur's the only other life form that is sampled the nectar. Can I acquiesce the product name? Yes. Dan Gheesling Bees Nectar. That's what it is. It's not available. I feel like this is a little loud. Shannon, are you available? Shannon, when you get a chance. Shannon, what's up?
Hi.
What, in your non-biased subjective opinion, on the Shannon 10-point rating scale, what do you give that last caller?
I feel like all these callers have been very good today. So I would say about an 8 or a 9.
Okay, look, Shannon, I was...
High rating.
Some days we're going to get nothing but 8s, 9s, and 10s. And I think part of that, a large part of that is due to your ability to manipulate and execute the Iron Jaw security system of screening calls. So I want to thank you for your due diligence, working the lobby outside the studio, making sure that only the highest of acquiescent individuals get their phone calls through. So thank you for that.
Of course.
All right, so we got one final caller for today. Before we do, can we get some hey guys spam in chat as a way of thanking Shannon for her hard work and efforts on the show this phone-in Friday?
Thanks.
I mean, we got to wait and see how many there are. Oh, that's a pretty good amount, Shannon.
Solid wall.
Yeah, it's a great wall. All right, good. Shannon, thank you so much. Who do we have as our final call on this afternoon?
Professor T.
Professor T. All right, let's patch him in, Shannon.
All right.
Professor T, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Prof T, where are you calling in from, my dude?
I am calling from North Central Georgia.
From where?
North Central Georgia in the United States.
North Georgia?
Essentially, yes. Around there. It's kind of like a little west of Atlanta, so like around that area.
We should have landed in North Georgia Pole in honor of you, Professor T. What's life like in North Georgia?
It's very hot and humid, and I don't like it.
What don't you like about the humidity?
So, I grew up in the Midwest, so...
You know what the Midwest is?
Yes, I grew up in Missouri. It's like, during the fall, I am used to crisp, cool weather. It's mid-October, it's still like 80-something degrees, and humid all of the time.
Okay.
That's the one thing that I do not like about the South. It's very humid. Not that there's not anything wrong with humidity. It's fall. I'd like it to get a little cooler, a little cooler.
Say that the air were a little bit cooler, the nights were a little warmer. What would you do differently in your daily life had the weather acquiesced, much like it in the Midwest where it's glorious?
I'd probably have a lot more incentive to go outside.
And if you were to partake in any outdoor activities, what's one of the enjoyments you take from being in the land of the nature?
So I do enjoy just kind of spending time outside listening to stuff, but
like
I honestly,
like stuff as in birds and peacocks, or like music and podcasts?
A bit of both. I'd probably say in terms of nature, I do like listening to the birds and stuff like that.
Oh, hey, I gotta put you on hold. You're still here, but just hang on 1 second. I forgot to thank. Sorry, guys. We got swept up in that headshot. I gotta thank Sleep Cycles for the host and subscribing. Sleep Cycles, much appreciated. Donning the gold chain and the red shirt for the first time. Sleep Cycles also streams on Twitch. Appreciate it, my dude. Dan Gheesling, thanks so much for the new subscription. Donning the gold chain, the red shirt, being successful in doppelgangering your boy. Poo-Poo Head 755, aka J Money's alter ego, aka Knopf's alter ego. Thank you so much for donning the gold chain, the red shirt for the first time. Honey Bear, thanks for the bits. And Ice Sprite, welcome for the first time. Gold chain, red shirt, donning a new flavor of Sprite that is not being released till 2025. Thank you for sharing that information with us. We welcome you to the show. With that being said, Professor T, we're back. So you said you listen to...
So, like, whenever it comes to birds, I don't listen to it all the time, but I do enjoy it. I'm just saying, whenever it comes to going outside, I don't really play that many sports. However, I do enjoy watching them.
Okay. Do you have, like, a favorite sport, or you just like just being out kind
of? I'd probably say currently my favorite sport is football.
Okay.
Proud Atlanta Falcons fan.
We're not going to talk about that Lions game, but okay.
All right. That's acceptable. So yeah. Basically... yeah, I'd just enjoy going outside more. I'd be able to, it'd make it much more bearable to get lawn work done, I'd say.
Lawn work? That sounds like, you live in a house as opposed to maybe a condo or an apartment?
Yes, I do live in a house.
Okay. Are you responsible for the lawn care maintenance of said home?
Occasionally. It's more like mowing lawn, leaves and stuff. We got a lot of trees and stuff, got some taken down, so...
Do you live on a farm?
No, I don't. I live in a subdivision.
Okay. So what's your story? Do you work? You go to school? What's your acquiescence?
Currently, I'm in high school.
Okay.
The closest thing that I have to a job is I am a programmer for a competitive robotics team.
Oh. Do you program the API, or what do you do?
Not really APIs. So I don't really work with the API. In this case, it's like I'm in its most basic form telling the bots what to do straight on from the computer stuff.
Did you do it in Unity?
This is not in Unity. We program using a program called Eclipse. It's a common and very well done programming I'm literally saying it's a programming software.
What's your opinion on Unity and specifically Ryan Letourneau's ability to programming in Unity language?
So Unity is... I am not well-versed in Unity, but from what I heard with Ryan working on JavaScript and Java, I think it's good. I program in Java. It is used by actually 3 billion devices around the world every day, and that's what we use to program the bot in. So I think it's good that he's learning multiple languages. He certainly is learning at least one more than I know. But yeah.
I mean, you can be honest. It kind of sounds like, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth. It kind of sounds like you look down upon Unity developers, and that's, I mean, like, this is a no judgment zone. But if that's how you truly feel about Unity developers, I'm not mad at you.
No, the thing is, though, I have no opinion on Unity developers just because I am not well-versed in the programming side of things.
Well, because are you not well-versed in it because it's not a language that you respect as a programmer?
It's not that it's a language I wouldn't use as a programmer. It's just for robotics, we do not use Unity as a language. We use Java as our language.
Gotcha. So you work in like an arena of robots battling one another, or do they have to solve a specific task in the shortest amount of time?
So essentially, it's I'm in a competition. It's called First Robotics. It was founded by Dean Kamen, who is the guy that invented the Segway.
Dean Kamen, aka Bill Gates.
Not Bill Gates. He invented the Segway, like the Coca-Cola freestyle machines.
Wait. Oh, the ones where you hit a button, it's like 800 flavors of Coke.
Yeah, they asked him to invent that for them.
Okay. So he founded it, and what's the goal of the robot?
The goal is to make it so all students ages K through 12 can actively participate in robotics programs to make it so they will be able to see science, technology, engineering, and mathematics careers as viable options, as opposed than just thinking their options are just being an actor or going into the NBA. So,
whoa. I gotta pause you real quick. Just being an actor or just going into the NPA, is that like what the typical high school student wants to do as a career?
So, like, at least in terms of our culture, it's not that that's the only thing they would want to do. It's more of... It's just a lot of the careers that people see, specifically like the kids growing up, is a famous
YouTube star that plays
people.
Isaac.
Yeah, YouTube. So like YouTube stars, actors, actresses, like it's either in Hollywood, in one of the national sports programs. It's like that's the careers that they see the most attention towards.
Mhm.
But there's a lot more careers outside of there, and it's essentially making it so working in engineering, working in electrical engineering, all that stuff, it'll make it seem a viable option for a career.
Got it. Okay, so the question, when you have these robots you guys build, we'll get to that, the construction process in a second. What is the goal of the robot that you build?
So essentially, each year around January, all these teams from around the world, like there's across all the levels of programs, there's at least 20,000 teams around the world. They essentially receive the game all at once, and this game just shows us tasks, point values, and we're typically working with other robots and competing against them. So first thing we usually say, this isn't battle bots. We are competing against each other. Probably the most violent that it can get is a robot bumping into each other.
What about, are there scopies in it?
Scopes? No. The closest thing that we have to scopes is we use cameras for vision tracking to be so it can find objects, target them, and stuff like that.
Is there a limit on the scopy you can have on the camera?
I'd probably say the only limit that we have is it has to be connected to the standard onboard processor. It's just a computer.
Is it i7?
It's not an i7. It's made by a company called National Instruments.
Don't they make calculators?
That's Texas Instruments.
Okay.
So National Instruments, they make this standardized computer. So essentially, it makes it so all of these teams, they have to use these processors because otherwise you could have teams that live on the West Coast that might be able to get like the next generation processors from Silicon Valley. So it's essentially making it so from a programming standpoint, everybody is on an even playing field.
Has there ever been a situation in the robot fighting arena where someone may have used a steroided out chip or a less than above board chip, maybe something off the black market, something that was custom wired, overclocked, something of that nature?
So to give you perspective, with my robotics program, most everything is made from scratch. So whenever we get
you're physically like soldering, like you're making your own processor?
So I'll actually give you this. Literally the only parts, every team receives a kit of parts so everybody can start out on a level playing field. Literally we receive a box with wheels on it and our computer, and that's it. Everything else is either made of wood, metal, a vinyl, carbon fiber, and all of this. Like we're working in shops with machines that could potentially kill us. So don't worry though. We got adults from companies such as like GE, Lockheed Martin. They come in and they help mentor these teams so they can teach students how to work with the tools safely.
What's the most dangerous piece of machinery that you've actually acquiesced in?
So that's kind of hard to tell because there's actually like, not trying to sound too graphic, probably the most dangerous thing that I can think of. It's more of being careful. All of these machines are designed so they have kind of safety mechanisms built into them.
Yeah.
I'd probably say the most dangerous is a circular saw because those things can actually cut off your finger faster than you'll be able to tell that you're missing it. Not even joking. It's
really?
That fast. Really, so they say hand placement is probably the thing that causes the most amount of injuries.
Have you ever seen a kid get cut?
We do occasionally have a student that gets cut, but mainly it's from getting it pinched in between two pieces of metal after the robot is done being constructed. It's like we got to make sure everything's kind of smoothed down, so it's really handling the materials that sometimes causes the injuries.
Okay.
So like with our programming thing, essentially we have a built-in library that is provided to all the teams, and I use that library, program in Java, and make it so the bot knows how to respond to a computer which has joysticks connected up to it, how to get information from those joysticks, and send it to the robot through the computer and send electricity to these motors and everything. So on our teams, we have the build team, which is, well, they're responsible for fabricating all the parts. We have the electrical team, which is responsible for making sure all the electrical components are secure on the robot, we're not causing any shortages, and they're plugged into the proper locations on the computer. And the programming team tells essentially the robot what to do. So you were asking about APIs earlier.
Yeah.
Probably the closest thing that we have to an API is there are not rules, as far as I know, on onboard processes. So we got a board from NVIDIA that we're using to handle all of our vision processing, because if we handle it all on the computer, it kind of bogs it down, makes it act a little slower. So by attaching this onto it, we're essentially creating a link between the two of them. So that's probably
He's
the closest
disappearing
thing on with an API.
He's there, and then he's not there. Yo, sorry. Okay, got you. So then, hold on, my dude. We got a battle for life and death here. So, do you have a picture of your robot that you built?
Yes, I do. I can send it to you on Discord.
Yeah, put it in the casual Discord for everyone to acquiesce.
Alright,
he's there. Yeah. What is he's invisible?
Potential hacker reported. So yeah, let me put a picture of the bot in the chat.
Are you guys seeing this? He's jumping up and down, and then he disappears.
Let's see if I can find it. It's been so long since we built this thing.
What is that? He is not there. Look. Where is he? He's at the tree to the left of the red. Tree left of red? Ah, there he is. How are we not hitting him? The hacker! That's a hack. Dude, get it. Professor T, get in this API and tell me how this guy's hacking right now.
I honestly have no clue.
No, you know.
I'm sorry, man. I work on electromechanical programming. Not I don't work on the software side of things. I develop programs to tell the bot what to do. I don't develop software stuff. This guy probably is. I don't know how these hackers do these things, but yeah, that guy's obviously going in and out.
Kobe. No, not like this. All right, so my dude, I have a feeling this may not work out, but
I'll be sure to post a picture of it. Yeah.
But let me. All right, so my dude, you're kind of getting, you're getting blazed in the flat. No, you're good. You're getting blazed by my dude right here. So you want to come on the show, ask a question, talk about a topic. Look for advice. Okay. Why did you want to come on the show this?
So I essentially wanted to call. I was wondering. So since you obviously are a very big fan of Star Citizen, that's where I found your channel from. So I was wondering, how do you plan to incorporate the Star Citizen into the Dan Gheesling show at some point?
That's a great question, my dude. First off, let me pop the molly. Oh. You know what? I've thought about that myself. Look at my dude. Are you watching this?
Yes, I am. This guy has been like all over the place.
I don't know yet. That's a great question. I mean, I'm open to any acquiescence. Have you thought about it at all?
So the only thing I could think of is that a while back, there was an ATV that was talking about how they essentially render 3D models in the game to get put onto screens and stuff like that, and how that could be used to add cameras in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, like, perhaps in the future, if they add like camera drones to the game, maybe you could not only stream the Dan Gheesling show on Twitch, you also could stream it within the game. Like it's kind of far out ideas, but it's like I'm really looking forward to whenever Star Citizen release the updates, because that was like classic Dan Gheesling live stream for me. I really enjoyed the WHP squad stuff. Currently, my computer is a potato, so I can't actually play Star Citizen, but I'm still really love following it, and it's like, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing it back on the channel.
Dude, I appreciate. I think probably like it may be some form of a call-in show, but here's the key. This is why we gotta go, dude. This is the key. Is that PUBG has VoIP, right? So if we can find a way to either incorporate in-game VoIP, or we come up with our own way. Like, I'm just saying, we're gonna put the heart before the coarse apple. Let's go. You know what, Professor T, I always want this to be a lesson for you. And when you're in the robot battle arena, and you're going toe-to-toe, you're looking someone in the eyes, when your moment arises, you don't sit back. You go get them. You may have an inferior robot. Your software may not be as tightly wound as the other. Your robot may be wood, and theirs may be carbon fiber. But when it comes down to it in that moment, that showdown, when you got a decision, either you cower or you clock the umpy and you push forward. Professor T, I hope that you remember, always cock the umpy and rush it up, my dude.
I will, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
Professor T, man, I appreciate you coming on. Keep us posted in your robots endeavors and if you guys win.
All right.
All right, later, my dude.
By the way, the champion. There are 2 championships for the teams. The next championship in 2018 is actually being hosted in Detroit.
Let's go.
Look into it.
Good luck, my dude.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks, Professor T. I'm not going to lie. I don't know the guy's name that killed us in that exchange, but I feel like a rivalry was born right there. I feel like I got Professor T talking about processors, RAM, wood, and carbon fiber. We're running low on AK bullets, running low on patience. Line that up again. Still give us Professor T. Not to be confused with Mr. T. I feel like we win that battle. Professor T, man, I appreciate it.